Alright, another day down at the garage. Wasn't here last Sunday or anything like I said I was going to be. Did end up washing the M3. I had a headache, it was horrible, I spent all day in bed. It wasn't ideal. Today's Good Friday, so no work, got 4 days off work, and you know, because I'm a top lad and all that, I'm going to go out and get wrecked all weekend. Or I might spend the weekend working on the car, I don't know. Anything could happen, you know, wild world. So I've got loads of stuff to do still. Got the exhaust in the back of the Volvo, got some new clamps for the exhaust, so exhaust should be on this weekend. I need to change the tips over, which involves doing some drilling, some spot welding. No, we have to drill some spot welds out, and then I've got some rivets to put the tips back on, which is a bit fiddly. You finish the brakes, get the Recaro in, then what do we need to do? Wash it. Wash it. Got some centre caps as well. They're obviously nice and easy, just pop them in. What else have I got? Drop links. Got some drop links from a Hyundai Coupe. They're not actually from Hyundai, it's just that's what fitment they are. I managed to get some Lemforder ones. One of my pals had some Lemforder ones, so I got some of them. So you know, it's still decent quality links. It's just that the Hyundai Coupe rear fitment is the Hyundai connection. A few comments asking what's happening with this in the video that I uploaded last. Like, just because I'm doing one M3 video doesn't mean that, you know, come on. I must have said 10, 15 fucking times that that's going nowhere, and you know, I've got plans for it, so just chill your beans, man. I've got 2 cars, and these are my 2 dream cars, like realistic dream cars, these 2, so, you know, now I've got them both. Just chill, enjoy the videos. If you don't enjoy them, watch something else, but yeah, Integra's going nowhere, man. So my plan for today is similar to last week. I'm just gonna crack on, do some jobs, film where I can, maybe do a voiceover. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I just want to get stuff done. I'll turn the camera on now and again. And yeah, end goal is not going to be to make a cool video for me this weekend. End goal is going to be to get that thing on the road. That looks better, doesn't it? Much better.
Right, time to get started. I figured I'd start on the brake line because I knew that was going to be a bit of a bitch of a job. Never changed the brake line on an E46 before, so wasn't too sure. I just tried to remove as much as I could to give me access. Now, as you know, this nut where the line attaches to the hose on the passenger side was pretty rounded, and that's why I ended up having to replace the line. Getting this off wasn't too difficult. Once I knew that I was going to be replacing it anyway, I just went full savage with a pair of vice grips. Managed to get that off pretty easily in the end. Ended up just cutting the brake line down there because I initially tried to get a socket on, but that didn't work. But yeah, in the end, the vice grips got it straight off. Undoing the brake line up the top on the ABS pump was a bit of a twat. There was pretty much no access whatsoever, and yeah, I had to kind of just wiggle it out just about 20 degrees at a time, which was pretty annoying and took absolutely ages. I managed to slacken it off with the proper brake pipe spanner, then I got my homebrew one out. Just with this ring spanner having a few more points on it, allowed me just to get a few more turns in, and still took ages, but eventually came out. Now, trying to get that line out of the engine bay was a bit of a task. I had to remove a lot of stuff and just push a lot of things out of the way, and I just took my time because the worst thing would have been if I'd have broke something else there. Once I finally got the line out, it was time to start matching that with the one that I got from BMW. Now, the reason I bought a part from BMW was I thought that it would come pre-bent and that I wouldn't have to fuck about doing this. I've never done anything with brake lines before, but just bending this line might seem simple to a lot of people, but I was a bit worried about it. So yeah, when the guy at BMW Parts gave me this straight bit of brake pipe, I was a bit like, ah, fuck. But just took my time and managed to get it done just about right.
The reason I bought this from BMW was so I wouldn't have to bend it. I thought it'd come pre-shaped, but how hard can it be? Fucking hell.
So I just took my time with this and just had the OEM part at the side of me and just tried to match it the best I could. I wasn't too happy with this right angle, I'd done it a bit too high, but yeah, it'd be alright. Right, now we could actually look at getting the brake calipers on, so it's time to get the old ones off first. Now this is pretty simple, obviously just unbolting things, get it off, get it out of the way. Fortunately the removal of all the other bolts was nice and simple, nothing sheared, nothing was even too tight, it was just nice. which made a bit of a change. Even the disc bolts were fine. Yeah, the disc was stuck on a little bit, but I just gave it a few taps with the hammer just to knock all the shit off behind the bell, and then it came straight off. I was hoping this would be real easy. I hope I would just be able to bolt everything on, clip the line in, and then bleed the brakes and be good. Now unfortunately the adapter bracket wasn't fitting correctly, and I couldn't get the screw in properly. What it was, there was a lip on the hub. You can kind of just see it there, just where the casting marks were, where the hub had been casted. It wasn't allowing the caliper bracket to come on flush. It was preventing the screw from going in straight, and it was getting really tight right at the start of the thread. It didn't feel good, so I knew I'd have to do something. Initially I started by just cleaning up the caliper bracket. There was a bit of crud on there, so I just got the wire wheel out and just cleaned it up best I could, hoping that this would be enough. Now unfortunately it wasn't, and it was all because of that lip of the casting mark, so I decided to just remove that. This might seem a bit aggressive, but I was only flapping the lip away. Once I got rid of that, the caliper bracket went on without issue. Once I'd done that, I was able to build the brakes back up, so I got the disc back on and then got the caliper on finally, nipped everything up and everything was looking good.
What a fucking effort this is.
Now here comes a lesson in making sure you've got the right parts for the job. I'd heard about these Hyundai links, and I'm pretty sure I've used them in the past before, but they were just not suitable for the M3 at all. Not at the ride height I was wanting to be at. Perhaps if I was seriously stance nation then they might work, but I just don't think they were applicable for the M3 at all. Now the last time I used these links was on an E46 Sport, and they seem to work pretty well on that, but they're just not applicable for the M3. They're not long enough, and yeah, they weren't right. As you can see here, they were just way too short. I'm going to get some E46 M3 ones now, because they're about the right size.
Time for an update. So as per usual, I spent all day just on the one corner. I thought this brake kit was going to be a bolt-on, bolt-off job. That's why I bought a kit that had already been on an E46 M3, and I thought everything would be nice and simple. It wasn't too much hassle, it was just figuring out what to do, troubleshooting issues and stuff like that. Obviously for me, a bit of a struggle, but I managed to get there. So the brake kit's on, that's good. I got the new hose in as well, the new line. The brake line fitting, I mean, bending the pipe, I've never done that before, so you know, it's not the best, but I did my best trying to make sure I didn't kink it or put any nasty, you know, when I was trying to do a right angle, trying not to bend it too kind of square, I guess, so that the pipe didn't go in. I don't know what the proper words are, but I tried to make sure it was all nice and smooth and stuff, so don't know, we'll see how it is once I get the brakes bled and start using it. Hopefully I've not kinked the pipe and squashed it, because that'd be a pain in the arse, then I'd have to get another one and do it again, but that wasn't too bad. Getting these brakes on then, getting the actual adaptation bracket, which, you know, the bracket goes between the caliper and the hub, so it allows you to fit brakes that weren't for this car on this guy, you know. It's a pretty common thing to get with these 4-pot calipers, 6-pot calipers, whatever. You get this little adapter. The spoon calipers on the DC2 had exactly the same, so, you know. That wasn't the issue though. Having an adapter wasn't the issue. It was the way the adapter fitted to the hub. So as you've seen, I had to grind down slightly my hub on the outer edge, just where those two mounting holes were for the original caliper. So I didn't take a lot of material off there. I was pretty much just cleaning it up and making it a bit smoother. Maybe took a couple of mil off at most. So the issue that I was having initially was I couldn't get the bolt for the top adapter in. I could get the bottom one in alright, but the top one wouldn't go in square, and it was getting real tight and horrible, and I thought, oh, this is not good. What I saw was that when the screw was trying to pull the adapter in, it was getting kind of stuck on the outer edge of the hub, just where that little mounting point was. So I just flattened that off slightly, you know, with the grinder as you saw, and yeah, straight on now. So brakes are done on this side. I have ordered some new lights for in here, just so you're all aware. Should be nice and bright soon. I'll finish for tonight. I'm going to put that back down. I'll finish for tonight. I did the other side, the brakes, nice and simple. Obviously we've done it already, so knew what to do in a sense. Got all the trim back in the engine bay as well, all the little bits of plastic and stuff I had to remove to get to the brake pipe. So put that all back together. I've not bled the brakes yet because I want to do all 4 corners. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow come back, do the exhaust, do the rear brakes, get the Recaro in. I've written a list over there. You see my whiteboard? You see it? Oh, it's going a bit dark, but there is a whiteboard in that corner. And yeah, I've been logging my progress on there. Now the only issue that I've got still that's going to prevent me from driving the car is that I ain't got these drop links, the proper drop links. Now you can get adjustable ones, and I know that's going to be what a lot of people are going to suggest, getting some adjustable ones, but just heard too many stories of them coming slack all the time. Like when I was doing my E46, everyone was like, oh, you need to get adjustable ones, but then I heard the same amount of people telling me that adjustable ones are shite and they always come loose just because of the design of the anti-roll bar or something. So I've been trying to stay away from the adjustable ones, so hopefully I can find something somewhere between. I need to have a good tidy up as well, because I don't know if you can tell, but it's a right mess. I've had all the toys out today trying to get this sorted out, but it's sorted, isn't it? So, right, tidy up time. Right, we're going to go straight into day 2 here. The lights in the unit weren't working properly, so it's pretty dark around the back end of the E46, but it was time to get the original exhaust off. Now it looks like this exhaust had never been off. All the clamps were real rusty. The bolts that hold in the rubber mounts were super crusty as well, and yeah, as you can see, it was just a mess. Now the original clamps that hold the exhaust pipes together to the centre section are known to be brittle and are known to rust away and rot away, and yeah, mine was no different. They were absolutely hanging. One of them had already broken away and wasn't even clamped properly. I didn't even attempt to try and unscrew any of the bolts. I just got the hammer out and just kept persuading them until they eventually fell off. Now there's a few different kits you can get to try and replace these, kind of like the factory option, or you can just be a complete tight ass like me and buy these little Peugeot clamps. Now getting the exhaust off wasn't difficult, it was just time consuming because everything was so crusty. In the end I just took my time, did my best not to round any of the bolts, managed to get everything off nice and easy. Now the next step was to transfer the exhaust tips from the old back box onto the new back box. Now from the factory these are spot welded in, but they often break away, and what a lot of owners do is drill away the spot weld and then insert pop rivets instead. That looks exactly what's happened to my original back box because none of the spot welds were there, but everything was held in with pop rivets. Now this made getting the tips off quite a bit easier. All I had to do was just drill the heads off the rivets, then pull the tips off. Some of them took a bit of persuading off, but overall it was really easy. Now putting the new tips on was easy as well. All I had to do was line them up and drill through with a 4mm drill bit. Then I had some 4mm rivets to just hold everything together. I've never used a pop rivet before, so this is all new to me, but it was very simple. I don't know why I was quite worried about it because I'd never done it before, but it was really simple to do the rivets, and don't know why I've never done this before, but now that I have, I think I might start using these more often. One thing I noticed when taking the exhaust off was that a couple of the rubbers were broken. Now fortunately the exhaust that I bought came with some good hangers, so all I had to do was transfer them across. This was simple because it was just a single bolt. It was a bit crusty on the back, but just took my time again and got it transferred across nice and simple. I also gave the tips a quick polish, nothing detailing world-esque, but just a quick wipe over some Autosol and they came up looking a lot better than what they did.
I also went on to bleed the brakes, but as you can see the lights were that poor that you can't see anything. I could just about see what I was doing, but it was pretty dark in there. Bleeding brakes this way is really simple. All you need to do is pressurise the system using the Gunson Easy Bleed, and then you can just walk around the nipples, crack them off, fluid comes out, no air goes in. Nice and simple, and it just makes the job a whole lot less of a headache. Right, that's all from today, so join me in the next video when I should hopefully get the correct length drop links, second time lucky, get the car out on the road, give it a clean, give it a test drive. I'm looking forward to it, so it shouldn't be too difficult, but I'm making a meal out of this, so hopefully it'll be done tomorrow. Yeah, keep an eye out on Instagram and Twitter. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.